Ever wondered how to make English learning an exciting journey rather than a daunting task? We've all been there, struggling to grasp the intricacies of a new language, feeling overwhelmed and unsure where to start. Well, fret not. This video is designed to simplify the English learning process, breaking it down into manageable bite-sized steps. Whether you're a beginner or brushing up on your skills, we've got you covered. Stay tuned as we unravel the steps to make English learning fun and easy. The first step is always starting with the basics. Now, what does this mean when we're talking about learning English? It means that before we dive into the deep end of complex grammar rules, idioms, and phrasal verbs, we need to feel at home with the basic building blocks of the language. The alphabet, for instance, is the cornerstone of English. Knowing how each letter sounds, how they come together to form words, is fundamental. Just think about it. If you don't know your ABCs, you won't be able to read, write, or even type in English. Then we have simple words. Words like cat, run, happy, and eat. These are the bricks we use to build our sentences. We use them to express our thoughts, our feelings, and to ask questions. Without a good grasp of these basic words, we'll struggle to make ourselves understood. And finally, we have simple sentences. Sentences like, the cat is black, or I am happy. These are the structures we use to communicate more complex ideas. Without understanding how to form these basic sentences, we'll have a hard time expressing ourselves clearly. So, you see, mastering these foundational concepts is not just important, it's absolutely crucial. It's like learning to crawl before you walk and walk before you run. It's a step-by-step process, and every step counts. Remember, a strong foundation in the basics will make your English learning journey smoother. With a strong foundation, you're ready to build your vocabulary. Imagine your vocabulary as a toolbox. The more tools you have, the more tasks you can handle. Each word you learn is a new tool, and the more words you know, the more you can say, understand, and express. So, how do you go about filling this toolbox of yours? One of the most effective ways to expand your vocabulary is by reading. Whether it's books, newspapers, or online articles, reading exposes you to a vast array of words, many of which might be new to you. As you encounter these new words, don't just skim over them. Instead, take a moment to look them up. Understand their meanings, their usage, and their context. By doing this, you're not just adding a word to your vocabulary, you're adding a tool to your toolbox. Now, while reading is a great way to discover new words, remembering them is a different ballgame. This is where flashcards come in. Write the new word on one side of the card and its meaning on the other. Regularly go through these flashcards, testing your memory, and over time, you'll find that these new words have become a part of your active vocabulary. But remember, vocabulary building is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process. You need to constantly expose yourself to new words and regularly practice the ones you've learned. This could be by using them in your daily conversations, writing them in sentences, or even playing word games. The key is consistency. Remember, an enriched vocabulary doesn't just mean knowing a lot of words. It means being able to use those words effectively. It's about being able to express your thoughts more accurately, to understand others more clearly, and to engage with the world around you more fully. So keep reading, keep learning, and keep practicing. Fill that toolbox of yours with as many words as you can, because the more words you know, the more you can say. And the more you can say, the more you can express. An enriched vocabulary will help you express your thoughts more fluently and accurately. Listening plays a pivotal role in language acquisition. It's like the secret ingredient in the recipe for mastering a new language. But how do we add this ingredient to our language learning journey? Let's explore some tools and techniques that can help you improve your listening skills. Firstly, immerse yourself in the language as much as possible. This can be as simple as watching movies or TV shows in English. No need to understand every single word. What's important is to get used to the rhythm, the intonation, and the way native speakers use the language in real-life situations. It's not just about understanding the words, it's about understanding the culture, the context, and the emotions conveyed through the language. Secondly, podcasts. They are a wonderful tool to improve your listening skills. There are countless English podcasts available on various platforms, covering a wide range of topics. You can choose one that interests you and listen to it on your commute, during your workout, or even as you wind down at the end of the day. The beauty of podcasts is that they allow you to learn English in a relaxed and enjoyable way. Lastly, let's talk about language learning apps. These apps often come with features that allow you to slow down the speed of the audio, repeat certain sections, or even read along with the transcript. They provide a more structured approach to improving your listening skills, and you can tailor them to your own pace and level of understanding. Remember, improving your listening skills is not a one-day affair. It's a gradual process that requires consistency and patience. But as you continue to practice, you'll notice that you're able to understand more and more of what you hear. You'll start recognizing familiar words and phrases, and you'll start to grasp the meaning behind the sentences. This is when you'll realize that your listening skills have indeed improved. Remember, better listening skills will help you understand English in a real-world context. So take the plunge, immerse yourself in the language, and let your ears do the learning. Now, let's shift our focus to speaking. Speaking is an integral part of language learning. It's the active use of language to express your thoughts, ideas, and emotions. So how can we enhance our speaking skills? Practicing speaking is key. It might sound simple, but it's a step many language learners tend to overlook. Often, we get so caught up in learning new vocabulary and grammar rules that we forget to actually use the language in conversation. But remember, speaking a language is a skill, and like any other skill, it gets better with practice. So where do we start? First, try to incorporate English into your daily life situations. Whether ordering your morning coffee, asking for directions, or simply talking about your day, use English. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's a great way to practice and gain fluency. Second, consider using language exchange websites. These platforms connect language learners from around the world, allowing you to practice speaking English with native speakers or other learners. It's a fantastic way to practice, learn about different cultures, and make new friends. Third, record yourself speaking English. This might feel a bit awkward at first, but it's an incredibly effective way to improve. You'll be able to hear your own pronunciation, identify any mistakes, and track your progress over time. Now, you might be wondering, what if I make mistakes? That's perfectly okay. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. They show you what you need to work on, and each time you correct a mistake, you're one step closer to fluency. So don't be afraid to speak up. It doesn't matter if you're not perfect. What matters is that you're trying, and with each word you speak, you're improving. Practicing speaking will boost your confidence and improve your pronunciation. So, go ahead. Start speaking English today and watch as your language skills flourish. Finally, let's summarize what we've learned today. Our journey began with the understanding of why it's so essential to start with the basics. Just like a building needs a strong foundation, your knowledge of English requires a solid base. This includes understanding simple words, basic phrases, and the core grammar rules. Remember, it's not about rushing to advanced levels, but about getting the basics right first. We then delved into the world of vocabulary building, an indispensable part of any language journey. Expanding your word bank is like filling your toolbox. The more tools you have, the more things you can build. We discussed various methods of enriching your vocabulary, from reading and writing to using flashcards and interactive apps. It's about making the learning process enjoyable and engaging. Next, we tuned into the importance of improving listening skills. It's not just about hearing words, but about understanding them in context. You can do this by immersing yourself in English audios and videos, listening to podcasts, watching movies, or even surrounding yourself with English speakers. The goal is to train your ears to understand different accents, speeds, and tones. Our conversation then shifted to enhancing speaking skills. We emphasized that speaking isn't about perfection, but about communication and expression. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll get with the language. Don't shy away from making mistakes. Instead, use them as stepping stones to improve. Practice speaking English every day, whether it's talking to a friend, practicing in front of the mirror, or even recording yourself. To wrap it all up, remember that learning English is a journey filled with discoveries. It's about exploring a new world, making connections, and expressing your thoughts. The road may not always be smooth, but with the right tools and mindset, it can certainly be a rewarding experience. So keep your spirits high and your efforts consistent. Remember, learning English is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the process, and don't forget to subscribe for more English learning tips and tricks.